You missed it.
Okay.
I
Yep.
was like-
We're just gonna hold.
Dang, now that I'm back in Ohio,
Maybe I should just hold it.
I need to
Yeah, you
re-download
can be the.
my personality.
This
'cause
is-
nothing else is gonna entertain me.
This is super. Did you say re-download your personality?
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean? Yeah,
Any
I'm gonna also hold my mic because I want to lay back.
I know.
and
I wanted to lay back.
Sit with bad posture.
Yep.
That's
Dude,
what we do here in Ohio.
I look back at some of my old videos and I'm
I
just
could
slouching
have
out the
bad
wazoo. Can you
posture.
move? Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
But no one cares.
Yeah.
because it's so high.
Camille,
All
you
right, so
go
are
to-
we all doing press-on nails? How do you press them on?
Well, I don't know if I'll have enough. There's
What do you mean? There's so many. I don't need my
Yeah,
whole
but
hand
you're-
done.
You,
I just like
you just want your
a
thumb.
few
Wait, where'd you
fingers.
get these?
I got them for free from OSU. They had an event.
Oh.
They
for
match my
what?
shirt. Look.
It was like a end of the.
Ooh.
You're messing it up. You guys can size your own nails. I'm just seeing which ones will fit.
Yeah, these all look too small to fit on my. Yeah, no. Even the largest one doesn't fit on my.
What, bro? This one definitely fits on whatever you're talking
Your
about.
thumb? Oh, just
Bro,
kidding, that's
look
not the
at this
largest
one, dude.
Oh, word. Yeah. You're right.
Who do you
Didn't
think
see
you
that
are,
one.
Bigfoot?
Big finger?
Man, we should.
How
do
do you
one of
press these on?
We should do. There's glue.
Glue.
There. We should do one of these with
All right, I'll let Rachel do mine for me.
Karina.
Yeah, that was the plan that Korea and I were gonna do, but then I left and she didn't have any. press-on
But
nails.
wait, but how long do they last? Like, can I
Not
take them
very
off
long.
tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know about. That
'Cause-
was with my name.
Oh, sorry,
I'm
sorry.
finding the knob.
Because I'm trying to play tennis tomorrow. I feel like
Oh.
these are not very conducive to tennis. Here, I'll do one. I'll do a pinky one.
Okay.
So when I lift up my pinky when I drink.
Wait, did you move them?
Sorry, bro. My bad.
As you guys can all tell, we're back in our childhood home here in Ohio. And we're doing our nails.
Only Rachel's doing her nails.
I'm doing one nail. Oh, wait. I'll do my left pinky, my least important finger. If you had to choose a finger to lose, which finger would it be? One finger.
He has to be the pinky.
Left pinky, right?
What about the right ring finger?
The right ring finger.
Because the left ring finger, I feel like has some importance.
Can you grip well with just...
Because I'm thinking if you lose your pinky, the amount of distance that you can stretch is lost.
Oh,
Right? If you
interesting.
lose one of them in the middle, then you still
You
have
still have the
full width coverage. Yeah.
Oh, dude, big brain. That's why
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I pay you the big bucks on this podcast.
Exactly. You haven't paid me any money on this podcast. I haven't seen a dime.
Oh, you will one day.
Yeah.
One day. You don't need money, Andrew.
No. I
You need to give
don't.
me money.
Not from you.
Yeah,
You guys are funny.
that would just be mean if you asked me for money.
Yeah, actually, I would like a third of all the money that you're getting.
Isn't this kind of strange? Do you ever feel weird that you pay for my stuff? Because I actually don't feel weird about that.
No, I don't feel you.
I feel like some big brothers might have like this ego thing where they feel like they should be paying for their younger brothers, but I don't give a
Hey, don't curse yet.
I'd be like, yo, Andrew's got it. We were at the tennis store today. I was like, Andrew, put your card down.
Wait, where are you guys at the tennis store?
I want to get back into playing tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at the tennis store, Midwest Outlets. Now it's called Tennis Point.
Yeah.
Just kind of
threw
weird.
me off for a loop.
It was our like childhood tennis store to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time we've gone in decades.
Yeah, in like 10 years.
10 years, yeah. And they still had our phone number in the file.
It's crazy.
They're like, do you have a membership here? We're like, no. And they're like, oh, do you have a phone number with us? I was like, we can try our home phone from childhood.
That was literally 10 years ago. Yeah.
And they're
high
like,
school.
yep, you're in the system. I was like, what?
Damn, you don't delete any data.
Yeah. Y'all hold on to everything. But yeah, we want to demo some tennis rackets tomorrow. We got the Wilson Blade, the Wilson Pro Staff.
And then
Babolat.
I got the Babolat Pure Drive and Babolat Aero Drive. Yeah.
I've actually already tried the Blade and the Pro Staff. I like the Blade a lot. I think I'm going to end up purchasing it, but I also want to try the Babolat rackets and see how those
I've
are.
never left the Babolat system. I've tested so many rackets out. but I always come back to the Pure Drive. Can't leave it anymore.
Yeah, so Andrew's buying me a new racket tomorrow.
What the hell?
Just kidding. Nah. Money's been good lately.
Is that how we're gonna intro into this? That actually leads me to another discussion. So I came home a couple days before Jesse and Rachel, and then Dad picked me up from the airport, and so we were just catching up in life. And so Dad originally actually offered to pay for my student loans, and he actually did pay for them. And then I was like, no, get a refund because I think Joe Biden's gonna get us student loan forgiveness. So I refunded him all the money, and then the Supreme Court. So this was
ruled
last
it
year.
unconstitutional.
Yeah, exactly. So this was like a couple years or last year.
I remember.
The Supreme Court ruled it as unconstitutional, and so I look at my balance and I'm like, well, Mr. Biden is not gonna be refunding this. And then Dad asked me in the car yesterday. He was like, "Oh, do you still want me to pay for your student loans?" I'm like, "No. You don't have to pay for that anymore." And so Dad now knows that financially I am capable of providing for myself. And also this goes without saying, but super grateful that Dad would even offer to pay for my student loans. That's not taking that for granted.
Yeah.
But immediately after Dad was knew of my financial situation, he was like, "Andrew, it's time for you to get a girlfriend. You need to put that on your New Year's goals."
Hey, everybody.
So
this man, he could support your family.
I was like, "Okay, Dad." He's like,
"He's got
you
what
gotta
it takes."
start. And then I got home, and then was talking to Mom and Dad, and they're just like, "Hey, you need to start clearing out your Sundays for church, so you can go to church and
find yourself a wife."
Find yourself a wife. And I'm like, yeah. But it is really funny because that discussion, I'm gonna ramble for a little bit. That discussion led into us talking about, for whatever reason, Mom's parents and versus Dad's parents and their side of the family, and how differently they view familial relationships. So on Dad's side of the family, our Ye and Nai, they don't care about money at all. They don't care if we send money to them, or if Dad sends them more money to help them live a more comfortable life. They're already very happy with their current living situation in the village. But all they want, Dad was like, 他们不要钱，他们只想要人. So they don't want money, they just want more people. They just want to see more great grandkids coming from us.
Family is wealth to them.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care at all about money, which is starkly in contrast with our 外公外婆, so Mom's dad and mom.
Grandma and grandpa from Mom's side.
Exactly. They only care about money. They don't care about having additional people.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why Mom was low-key this is why I'm not that close with Waipo anymore, and this is her stepmom.
So not really our biological grandma.
Just in terms of values, it's just very different. Because Mom is I'd rather have more people than more money type of mentality, and I think that's why she gets along so well with Dad's side of the family.
I wonder if that's what we'll eventually regress back to. Maybe not. Regress is the wrong word. If that's something we'll go back to, or
as
once
a
we're
society
stable,
or as a family.
As me.
As
personally.
Me personally.
Because I feel like I already value the people aspect more than I value the money aspect. I think one thing that I realized this summer.
You want more family right now?
No, not more family. I just want to be around people that I love.
Oh no, yeah. I'm saying right now I don't need to expand my family and friends. I feel like I already have enough of that. I'm satisfied with where I am in terms of my family and friends. Right now I just want more money, and then I'll expand my family.
Yeah. But I think
that's the stage I'm
wanted
at.
To expand the Zahn family.
They want a Zahn family army.
they
based on how much they have, you guys are already making more than enough money to start a family.
But we live in America. Our money would go super far, obviously, in a village, obviously. But to to like be financially
Andrew
responsible
here in Ohio
Okay,
would go so far too.
Andrew could start a family easily right now, but obviously there are other things that
That's what I
are
told Dad.
he's
I'm
trying to
like,
chase.
Very
Can you
good.
put this closer to your face?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Not you, Andrew.
I
He's
know.
like
Oh
putting
Oh my
it down here.
gosh, Jesse is
arms
so
are
aggressive.
Dude, it's just that.
Jesse's just
Okay,
like,
yeah.
you guys aren't allowed to be tired. We're doing podcasts this whole time.
Yes.
work.
Yes.
Jesse's
And I'm gonna pay you, me, and you and me.
So Andrew, put the mic closer to your mouth.
Yeah, but
what was that? Yeah.
no, Andrew, I think is the most financially capable of raising a family right now. Obviously, I still think you're too young to do so.
Oh yeah. No, I'm very much too young
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
that. Which
I still think I am too young.
is
yeah.
crazy because I mean you're already past the age where mom had you, but I am coming up to the age where mom had you.
Oh wait, Dad had me at 95, 66, so he had me at 29.
Yeah, and mom is 2.5 years, 3 years younger, so she was 26. Yeah, and I'm turning 26. Not soon though, but I'm turning 26.
Yeah, but that was a different time. But although, I still thought Dad was late. Like he was like a
Yeah.
late bloomer.
Yeah.
But
My face, no, I can tell. Okay.
um,
Oh yeah, I was telling Dad. I was just like, oh yeah, like that is very difficult finding. Actually, that's an irrelevant comment. I was telling Dad, I'm like, yeah, getting more money is honestly a lot easier than finding a wife right now.
honestly, it is
A lot harder.
I realized now that I feel a little bit indebted to Andrew because he's kind of opened up my eyes to what the world is like outside of medicine. I feel like because I have. Wait, let's check in first. Hold on.
Oh,
we're
right.
like
We
30
haven't
minutes in.
signed
I
in.
haven't signed in yet.
We're 30 minutes in? My God.
Well, 12 plus whatever, 15 minutes that we
yeah.
recorded before. But it was a bunch of stuff I'm going to cut out.
Oh yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Rooftop Pod. I am your host, Jesse, and joining me today is my sister
Rachel.
and my brother,
Andrew.
And today, I already said it, but we're back in our childhood home in Ohio, and we are enjoying a weekend together before Rachel starts school, and then before Rachel starts school, and me and Andrew go on with our regular lives afterwards. But it's nice always to be able to come back home, see our parents, see our dog, and kind of just hang out as a family together. And we have extra company this weekend. Our nieces are staying with us, and I shouldn't say their names, but
No.
the most adorable two little kids in the world, super obedient, dream children. If I were to have children,
Yeah.
those are the two kids I would want to pick, if that's a thing.
Is that still called nieces?
Yes.
There are cousins. Daughters.
Andrew is like, are we considered uncles to them?
I
Yes.
guess. Okay,
There are
yeah,
cousins'
yeah.
kids.
Okay,
What
yeah.
other word can we be called?
I think it's like nieces once removed. It's like
That's
the
what I
once
was looking
removed.
Okay,
for.
whatever.
thing,
But
yeah.
Okay.
no one's gonna be like, "Hey, niece, once removed, come over here." You're
I mean,
just
that's
gonna
what I
say
call
niece.
them. I call them once removed and
No.
once removed second oldest.
No. Wait, they call us 叔叔, right?
Uncle, but yes, yeah.
Or 舅舅. No, 叔叔,
No.
right? Because which is the
No.
dad side. No, yeah, because it's related to us. So it's dad side. It's called
Oh,
叔叔.
you're right.
If
you're
it
right.
was
or we should bleep out the names.
yeah,
but yeah.
I'll believe about the name. But if it was on the other side, we would be called Juju.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
In any case, what was I saying before? Before I so rudely cut myself off, I was saying that Andrew kind of opened my eyes to like the world outside of medicine, because I think for the past decade or so, I've committed my life towards pursuing medicine, biomedical research, and this dream of becoming a doctor. And I'm really glad I chose to do an MD PhD, because this PhD phase has allowed me the flexibility to do a lot of things outside of medicine and research, such as this podcast. And then it gave me a lot of time to kind of spend with my family and friends as well. But it also made me see that there is a life that you can have outside of medicine, because a lot of people, when they enter the medical pipeline, they go to undergraduate, they go to med school, and then go straight into residency, and then they're working as doctors for the rest of their lives. Whereas during this like 4-year break, I realized I can like do something else outside of medicine and research. Like I can have fun, I can travel, I can consider other careers outside of medicine as well. And
wait, did you always want to do an MD PhD?
No, I think
did you apply for just MD programs as well?
No, I
just
applied
kidding.
only to MD PhD
Never
programs.
mind.
But I think I decided probably like my sophomore year when I worked with this neurosurgeon who was a physician scientist, and he was telling me about this MD PhD, and he was like, "Oh, it's free med school," and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of nice." And I get like 2 degrees. That's pretty nice. I loved research at the time, so it seemed like an obvious choice for me, but I didn't realize that I would be locked in one place for 8 years, which at the time I didn't really think too much about, but now I think about it a lot.
Oh, because you locked it? That's
Yeah,
crazy, because the stars really did align. If you chose to just do a regular medical school program,
I probably
you'd
would
be
end up
matching right now.
else.
You'd be at
With someone
residency
else,
right now, yeah. And this absolutely would not be happening.
This would not be happening.
So if you never had that conversation with that one dude, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I mean, I had a lot of conversations with him. He was like my mentor.
I take that back. Yeah.
But he definitely shaped the trajectory. He was probably the one who, like, I wouldn't say he was my closest mentor, but he was probably the one who made the most impact on my career trajectory. And I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit because Rachel actually came to visit me in Cleveland these past couple of days, and she spent
Not intentionally.
not by choice,
Just kidding.
reluctantly, forcedly.
Indeed.
But Rachel spent the last day or so in Cleveland with me, and she kind of got to experience what my life was like and what my people and what my friends were like, because she got dinner with like me and my roommates and some of my lab friends. And you said, like, they were asking you about how your summer internship was, and you had said something that really like struck a chord in me. You said that what you learned from this summer internship is that there's no perfect career for you. And that like really hit me, because I was like, dang, I don't think medicine is the perfect career for me. And I don't know if anyone has found that perfect career, but for me, I don't think I'll ever be satisfied just doing one thing.
Yeah, I think before this summer, I had a lot of experiences where I was like, oh, this is cool, but definitely not for me. And so I always had this feeling of, I'll just keep searching until I find something that fits. But I always had this hope of like, oh, something that I experience will be like the perfect job, you know?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then so I went into this internship, and it was like, when I read the description, when I like, my friend had this role the summer before I did, I was like, this is like probably as close to perfect as it gets. And then I did the internship, and
internship.
Don't get me wrong, it was a lovely experience.
That's
I
okay,
love
it's
the
over.
company.
You can bash on the top.
No, like I genuinely had a fantastic experience, but I was like, but this is not like what I imagined my perfect job to be. Like I still don't feel fulfilled, and this is still not like it, but there's nothing else out there. There's no job that exists that fulfills all of my criteria. So it's just like a place to live where I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but there's no perfect place to live either. There's like no perfect anything. And I think, I don't even know if it's better to like just experience bad things, but still have that hope alive rather than like experience the best and be like, well, I guess this is the best there is out there.
Yeah, it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because I never thought of my career as that. I always thought the career was like just something to like financially meet my needs.
Yeah.
And I've never looked for my job as a sense of fulfillment. So like the bar was always very
sad.
low. Well, no, like I remember having this thought, like working at our school bank at like 17. And this is when I decided that I wanted to go into business. I was just like, it doesn't matter what I do. I just want to be surrounded by good company. And that was like the only criteria I had for like all, like the rest of my career.
So even your
search.
time at PwC, you were living with your homies.
Exactly.
And you still enjoyed that time in your life, even though your work was, for lack of better words.
It was pretty bad, but I joined consulting for the perks of traveling, which all got stripped away for COVID. So that was
That's true.
very different. And that's why I liked my time at Gymshark so much. because I think that's like I say this a lot, like that it was the closest to like a perfect community to work with, because everyone was in like their early 20s. A lot of people had also recently moved to Denver. We were all like obviously like somewhat into fitness. I think everybody in the company was working for an athletic apparel company. That's kind of just how it shook out. So we go out together, we do like club sports together, we go climbing together. It was just a great time. Plus I had no other friends to hang out with, which is why I enjoyed going to the office.
Your office was your like social life.
Yeah, exactly. Which was honestly a lot of fun. It was like working on like a massive school project. Which is like the aspects of college that like made like the school part somewhat enjoyable, because I don't miss college at all. Like,
you don't?
Classes wise, like when it comes to academics.
No one misses classes. But I miss college a lot.
Oh, dude, Rachel, don't you like the classes you take? Did you ever say that?
I like some of them.
Okay, I didn't like
I don't
any
like
of the
my
classes I
technical
took.
classes.
I'm gonna be straight up. The only class that I like
Well, you took boring classes though.
I enjoyed the classes
business
outside
school.
my major. Yeah, the only classes I enjoyed were like, I thought my theology class was really interesting. I took
think
an
it's the
Asian
same
American
for
lit
me,
class.
too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all the classes of my major was not a fan.
Yeah. So for us, like as a pre-med, all your classes are basically pretty directly relatable to what you're going to do in the future. So it's all like foundational baseline knowledge that you need to learn in order to become a doctor for the most part. But yeah. How's life, Rachel? How's life back in Ohio, Rachel?
It was,
Rachel came off the plane and had the most like disappointed and depressed face in the world. And I was just like, wow, this is her
I'm sorry.
5 minutes in Ohio. What am I going to be like 4 more years in Ohio?
Well, no, it's just a culture shock. It's like coming from like a great place and then
Yeah, I
Coming from a great-
experience that once a month, Rachel.
Oh, that's so funny.
well, yeah, you willingly do that to yourself. You could just let yourself acclimate to Ohio and gaslight yourself into thinking that Ohio is literally the greatest place on the planet.
I have some friends that do that, but I never
Yeah.
want to turn into that kind of person. I don't want to lie to myself, but it's fine. Like I have come to terms with what my life is going to be like over the next 4 years. And I found a lot of different ways to like find entertainment, sense of fulfillment in my life here. So don't worry about me, guys. I'm
Yeah.
doing okay.
Jesse
you're
has
fine. You
so
have-
many hobbies. You could definitely not develop all of these hobbies if you lived anywhere
That's
else.
true. I will say, as a med student in Ohio, I have been able to save money. The money has gone towards really
the
important
cost
things.
of living here. We went to
Yeah.
get bagels, and I was like, "This is so cheap.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not spending like $8 on a bagel with."
Are we doing an Ohio
This is
ad again?
crazy.
I know. We might do another Ohio ad. Okay, I just need to say this.
Now that we're both back,
Hold up.
we kind of have.
No one's paying
to.
us to do this.
I started eating fruit. Rachel remembers my time in Denver. I never bought fruit because that
Yeah.
was too, or never. I never bought fresh fruit. I buy frozen fruit and then I blend it up in smoothies.
I remember the first day I showed up at Andrew's apartment. I was like, "Where's all the fresh produce?"
Andrew still doesn't have any of that.
I buy fresh produce
Does he
now.
have fresh
He
produce?
buys bananas.
I
now.
buy bananas. I buy grapes. I
There
buy
were
mango or grapefruits.
strawberries. I don't know if those were Karina's though.
Those were. When did you visit? Sometimes it's mine.
Okay.
But like I buy like a mango and a grapefruit like 3 or 4 times a week after I go to the gym. I like stop by the
Nice.
grocery store and I buy
The
myself.
mangoes are so cheap. They're only like 79 cents.
Oh wow.
Okay, not in my place.
Oh.
They're eating on sale. But no,
Did-
the grapefruits, they're $2 each. Mom brings out a pack of 3 grapefruits, $1. I'm like, oh my God.
How does she do it?
How does she do it? It's 33 cents a grapefruit. It's $2 in New York. That's nuts.
That's actually crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
And I go to
you
Trader
could end
Joe's.
world hunger with those prices.
Damn.
Wait,
Wait.
Wait,
we could end world hunger right now.
Good.
That's
It's
true.
All, it's
Yes.
all about
We could do that.
logistics
Yeah.
and food waste.
and people fronting the cash. Wait, no. Elon Musk did tweet this once, like, I will donate
Oh,
whatever
if you
money it
have a
takes
plan,
if
yeah.
you have a plan to end world hunger.
And I'm pretty sure.
Did
was it
anyone come up with
UNICEF
a
or
plan?
United Nations?
Oh, they responded?
I think they actually did lay out a plan, and then I think Elon just ignored it. Wait, I'm gonna fact check myself. Keep on talking.
Wait, now I feel bad. I'm kind of wasting these press-on nails for nothing.
Why?
I have no event or anything.
They're not nice.
Oh yeah, this is true.
Why would you want to wear
Self-care.
these? I don't think these are the kinds you want to wear to an event.
Really?
No, they look cheap.
Uh,
No? I don't know what the baseline of press-on nails, but they feel like guitar picks.
Okay, the UN did lay out a plan to end world hunger.
How much money the plan cost?
$6.6 billion.
How much is Elon worth?
I think more than that.
He'd have to liquidate like all of Tesla though.
Or X. Actually, I don't think X is worth that much.
X is so dumb.
Dude, okay, he's worth $219 billion.
Oh my god.
Like 6 billion is a fraction of that. That's crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, no.
Dang. Well, Elon Musk, you know what to do. Our podcast will be the one that makes a difference.
Oh my gosh.
God. Ugh.
Did
Musk
James?
responded on Twitter, if the WFP can describe on this Twitter thread exactly how $6 billion will solve world hunger, I will sell Tesla stock right now and do it.
Oh, really? Does this look like a little imposter guy?
No,
Oh.
it's much thinner. The imposter guys.
Oh.
I mean, I get it. Like,
Yeah, it's not easy to
It's
be
not-
like,
it's-
here's $6 billion.
yeah, you can't just say, here's $6 billion.
Yeah.
I kind of understand the potential skepticism.
Um,
Oh, I was going to ask a follow-up question. I don't know if you want to pivot this into a relationship talk, but
no,
because...
we're gonna save all that for tomorrow.
But it's really a great segue because you're like, there's no such thing as a perfect career. I'm like, does that apply?
I know.
also to-
I was gonna
You
I was
thought
gonna
of that too?
segue there, but
Okay.
we're not gonna do that.
Oh, we're not gonna segue. All right.
Yeah, we're
Cliffhanger
not gonna
for next week's
not gonna
episode when we
segue.
do segue over there.
But I do think that I don't think there's a perfect career, but there might be a perfect combination of careers. You know? Or is the perfect career no career? Is the
Definitely
perfect
not.
career retirement?
I think we should all adopt the degrowth mentality because that is the most sustainable way to live. It's just to stop building. Because you know what takes
Don't
the most
civil
carbon
engineers
output.
build things.
Exactly. Therefore, we just need to stop.
So you don't want a job.
Well, we
I was like, wait a minute.
no, just
want
in
your industry.
general because like companies running requires so many resources.
Not
and-
ours.
What do you mean?
Oh wait, never mind.
Like everything at the end of the day, like if you're
Right.
working, there is some carbon footprint associated with that.
That's true. Yeah.
And so
Oh, you're talking about from an environmental standpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But there are certain
I don't
essential
know
things.
when we're gonna stop like the 40-hour work weeks because clearly it's not working for everyone. You know what I mean?
Dude, doctors do 60, 70 hours.
Exactly. Like people. Okay,
But those
well,
are
doctors
essential. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Talking about people like me and you, Rachel. We
Non-essential
Wait.
workers.
Speak for yourself,
Wait,
Andrew.
you think you need to work 40 hours? I thought you were saying you don't have to work 40 hours.
Oh. Okay. Wait. Okay. I am
Oh my
misunderstanding.
I was
think-
saying, like, yeah, corporate America doesn't need to fire on all cylinders all the time.
I agree.
I was just like reflecting on
work
Okay, but
weeks?
what about in certain fields? Like I think in biomedical innovation, like finding cures for diseases, we should be like firing on all
Okay, you're
cylinders.
right. It is very different because I work in
I think-
entertainment and you work
Yeah.
in. Okay, yes.
Yeah, I feel like
I see what you're saying.
entertainment's disposable, luxury is disposable.
I think basic human services and needs like water, clean air, good health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Those are
doesn't
essential.
that take away the flavor of life, though?
Well, I think this is speaking in the midst of like the climate crisis that we're in right now. I think all hands need to be on stopping the world from literally burning down
Yes.
because
I think we're already
there are
too late
so
for
many
that, though.
I know, but like is that the mentality that we should just have is just, oh, it's already bad, so let's just let it keep getting worse and not try that hard.
What about innovating around normal human nature? Or like creating incentive structures such that we kind of go away from our behavior. 7.
You know what's really interesting? I'm not going to I had a professor back in college at Georgetown. He was very Republican, but he taught my international relations class, and we were talking about climate change. And I think someone was asking him like questions during a lecture, and he was saying like, yeah, back in his day, like the entire world was freaking out about how we were gonna completely deforest like the Amazon rainforest because we were consuming too much paper. And then the digital age came around, and then he was like, we no longer, I don't know if is deforestation still like a massive problem? I actually don't know.
But the attention has like, shifted.
But
this is actually an interesting
his point was like, humans will invent something that like, I don't necessarily agree with this, but he was like, we didn't even think that the digital age was like a feasible solution to like paper, but then it came around. So like what his argument was like, humans are just going to come up with something that we didn't even know was going to exist to like cure climate change, which I'm just like, damn, you're kind of like placing your bet on, I don't know, just
technology,
like
human innovation,
which is like, I don't know if I want to roll the dice on that, which is why I don't completely agree, but that was his argument in lecture.
I think climate change is also more of a multifaceted problem. Right, deforestation is just like cutting trees down to build things, which we're still doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think that problem has been solved either. Like, I don't know if we're consuming considerably less paper considering also population growth. Would have to look into this, of course,
I think we do. Like, Philip and John don't have like paper worksheets anymore. Like, it's all computer.
They don't even have paper textbooks anymore.
How much did that contribute to deforestation in the first place? Because a lot of lumber is also used like just building
houses.
And that is a considerably more timber that's used than like timber for paper.
That's a good question. I don't know.
But also with climate change, it's like, I think the biggest concerns right now are sea level rise, more intense weather patterns, and like so many wildfires, and just like a lot of environmental harm that's being caused by like seasons shifting too. And it's just so much more multifaceted. Like, unless someone invents some kind of vacuum to vacuum out all the CO2 from the air or like all the greenhouse gases, like it's not going to be solved very easily.
Just kidding. Yeah. Deforestation is still very much an issue. So
I'll take it back.
Yeah, it's slowed down though. Apparently.
Yeah.
So there's this. Did you guys ever watch that Obama and Hassan Minhaj?
I did.
Yeah. It was a great interview, was it not?
I'll just pop that clip up. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So fire. Yeah. But I think Hassan asked Obama at one point in the interview, he's like, how do you deal with the stress of the world when you think about all the things that are going wrong, like social justice issues, like climate change, like how do you not like blow up or combust as a human being, as the president of the United States, being like, I have to fix all of these problems? I think he said something similar to like what your professor said.
Oh, really?
What, did he not? He was just like,
I now can't remember. I thought you were going to refer to another part of the clip, but when he was talking to his daughter.
I'm going to look it up. Isn't that?
Well, no, he was saying because his daughter, I forgot which one it was, but
I have to look this up now.
His daughter was like, hey, a lot of my classmates are like really concerned about climate change and everyone wants to just give up.
Yep.
And his response was like, but like,
we can stop it from being this much and lower it to this much.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be like
a complete solution,
terrible, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, we can prevent the global like temperature from rising. Like, instead of rising like 3 centigrades, we can maybe like make it only rise like 2 centigrades, and like that's gonna prevent like,
instead of like the coast being inundated like 500 miles and it can be 400 and only 100,000 people lose their homes and not 200,000,
which is a difference. Like, I don't know, like I actually really do like that approach. Instead of like thinking of things in terms of absolutes, it's like, it's not we either win or
doing
lose.
Our best.
It's like we do what we can.
But I think it's also like there needs to be more of an emphasis on it too. Like, people need to understand how dire the situation is, and I don't think people are moving or like progressing at a pace in which that's needed You know what I mean? Like the people who are at the end of the day going to suffer most from this are people who do not have as much. And I think that's the part that's just the most unfair. It was just why like no one cares that much, you know?
Yeah.
Like they know at the end of the day
People
they're
with
going to be able to
resources can
deal
just
with the
evade the
consequences.
problem.
And that's on our society.
All right, so this is the clip.
At least 3 to 4 times a day, think, I'm not sure, we can manage this because we're a bunch of chimps with guns and
God
big
damn.
machines.
Yeah.
But we're basically still operating at chimp-like levels. And it doesn't matter if you have enough, you got a banana, somehow you still want everybody else's banana. And
Damn. Yeah, you right.
And we're greedy. And we're cruel.
I don't remember bashing on this for so long.
And yet, what I also say to myself, because I witness it, is the capacity for us somehow to kind of keep this thing afloat. Right. And to, in this messy way, kind of muddle through. And when we muddle through long enough, in small increments, things get a little bit better, and we get a little bit kinder, and we get a little bit more open-minded. And as Michelle's mom, who's one of my favorite people, and she says, and us old people, we die off. And because we've got old ideas. Right. And then the new ideas come in. And that process, if you take a long enough timeline, can make you feel not, like everything's going to be hunky-dory, but it can sustain your spirit because you say to yourself, you know what, if we can make things a little bit better, better's really good. I used to say this to the White House all the time. Better's really good. Right. So let me give you this. I know I'm not trying to filibuster.
You're trying to filibuster.
but I think this is going to be responsive to your question. So
Sure.
But if you want to tee it up,
Can I give you a little?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, jeez, look at this place.
Yes.
I wish you would have done the thing that
Look at
LeBron
this.
does.
But yeah, anyways, you should listen to the whole thing.
I have.
We have.
Oh, you have?
We all have.
Okay.
Thanks, Jesse, for that.
Well, I don't know. I thought you didn't say you did when I asked.
I forgot that I had.
In any
One
case,
It was great. It was great. That was
Yeah.
really good.
From the man who had to face all of the world's existential crisis face on himself,
Better
he
is
even found some comfort in the idea that the human spirit and the human process can muddle its way towards, better days. But I do think we still need the pressure of people being like, this is wrong, and we need to be stressed, we need to be active, we need to be doing something in order to get through this. If without that pressure, we're not going to be moving in the right direction.
Yeah, low key, humans as a collective,
Very inefficient.
I equate to like a procrastinator in high school. Like we won't get our shit together until it's like, fuck, we need to get our shit together. Like
Wait,
as a
and
collective.
we all know what that feels like.
Unless it's like war.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless
we don't
it's
push
humans
ourselves
against humans.
But
no one
exactly,
really
it's
cares.
not until like the last minute it's like, holy we just watched we watched Oppenheimer, right? Like the US
push comes
didn't
to
really
shove.
push to do the Manhattan Project until they were like, holy shit, like the Germans are onto something.
Yes.
We're not very proactive about this, even when it comes to like
Maybe
war
human
stuff.
nature is just procrastination.
We are a reactive human species.
We like
Again,
to
as a
play.
collective.
We like to
We
play.
really do.
I love to play and I want to stop working.
So you understand why we have all these problems.
Well,
I mean, I get it
no, I don't understand why everyone doesn't work towards these problems. But I
It's
do like to
capitalism,
play.
It's just getting a collective effort, like Obama said, like getting other nations involved. Like this is a global issue.
And no. The thing is, other nations are doing considerably better than the U.S. Like the
I don't
U.S.
know
is
about China or
lagging
India,
behind.
but
I know, but a lot of European
European countries,
Oh, yes,
countries are
yes,
doing
yes.
very good.
Yes.
And like the U.S. just It's the thing is with the US, it's very influenced by who's president. We
Yeah.
talked about a lot of this during my internship because a lot of people in my department work in wind energy, or sorry, not wind energy, just wind in general. And wind energy, because a lot of them had considered going into that industry, is very much so like all of the funding comes from federal sources. So if the president doesn't believe in climate change or doesn't believe in
There's no
investing
money.
in alternate forms of energy, like you're not getting paid. You're not going to have a job.
You know what's crazy? It's the same with science as well. Like all research, medical research in the US, like 90% of it is NIH funded or government funded. When Trump became president and he was deciding the NIH budget for the year, they like put a pause on all grants for a little bit because they're like, we don't know how much money we're going to get this next year. Like,
Wow.
we don't know if we're going to be able to fund these people. We don't know if we're going to be able to fund these people. I think luckily
Scary.
Trump was still like convinced otherwise. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how big of an influence the president has on the country. Which
Yeah.
is
Why you should
why
vote.
you should vote next
Yeah.
year.
I also didn't realize like how connected well, I guess I should have, but infrastructure funding is to federal sources as well. Like
Yep.
the projection for my field of work is very up because we just had like massive infrastructure bills passed.
Yes.
So a lot of
Yeah,
people
I
are
buy it.
investing into, like bettering our infrastructure, which is great, which is lovely because it betters the quality of life for a lot of people. But unfortunately, like other politicians do not value that.
Yeah.
I did go to a church thing last night that Jesse and Rachel, or mainly Jesse, abandoned me at.
What? No, I couldn't come. I had to give a talk this morning.
Sure, it's whatever.
Okay, whatever.
But it did.
Oh
bring
yes,
back a wave of nostalgia.
this does kind of connect to one thing that I have on here. So the church thing, whatever, was a celebration of the Thailand trip this year, right?
Yeah, so to give the audience some background, our home church that we grew up in does a missionary trip to Thailand, I think every year or every other year. Every 2 years, yeah. So the dinner that I went
But
to...
it has been on pause since 2019.
Oh, and so they
Because of
just
COVID.
started.
Oh,
kicking
you
it
went
off
on
again.
that 2019
Yes,
trip, right?
I went on the last
Last
one,
one. And so, yeah, the team came back from their trip earlier.
including our
this year.
father.
Including our father, who jokingly said that you gained 12 siblings because he essentially became a dad on that trip.
They all call him father
They
now.
call him dad now, which was really funny.
We have a lot of extended children.
We
Yeah,
do.
okay.
I think like
Adopted
all of
children.
my best friends have at some point called our parents either mom and dad or grandpa and grandma,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Grandpa, grandma, damn.
Yeah.
Dang, that
Well,
old.
no, they tell them to call them that.
What?
So it's like self-induced.
Why?
You're asking the wrong person.
Your friends?
Yeah, like
But you're like
bleep,
their age.
bleep. Yeah.
I like how you self-believed it.
Yeah,
We have no
I have
idea
no
who
idea
you're
who you're
talking
talking
about.
And you'll never know.
One interesting thing that I want to talk about, and I want to ask Rachel if you experienced this on your Thailand trip. But do you remember? Hold on, I'm gonna finish doing this
I was
first.
gonna say, finish chewing my man's.
Put your mic away
Oh, yeah.
while you're chewing.
Some ASMR.
That's something that I learned to do at work is whenever I was eating during calls, I would like flip my mic up so no one would hear me chewing.
Yeah, go on mute when you chew.
Yeah. Jesse, you need to learn how to do that.
Yes,
You
good
maybe you
Zoom
need to be
etiquette.
in corporate America, so you can
Oh,
learn
no, I don't
these
think
little
anybody needs
mannerisms.
to be in corporate America, though.
This is also true. What I also learned is everyone hates working.
Yeah. Who loves work?
Oh, my manager.
I mean, if given an opportunity, would he?
No, he would work.
Okay.
I would work too.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
love science and research. I don't love doing like the day-to-day science stuff, but I love thinking about ideas and writing about ideas. I think, which is the perfect. Being a PI is like one of the perfect jobs for that. Except for you don't get paid that much. It's the only problem. So the question I was going to ask Rachel
Jesus.
Wow.
Man.
Went down the wrong. Anyways, when you were in Thailand, did you experience any like supernatural things or like demon possession or anything like that?
No.
Not you personally experienced, but
Not
like
her.
see any of it.
That would be her personally experiencing if she saw demon possession.
No, I'm not. I was like not like
Oh,
you
was
personally
she
getting
demon
possessed.
possessed?
What did I get possessed by a demon?
Yeah. No. Okay.
I mean,
so,
the main Thailand missionary does tell a lot of stories about demon possession.
Yeah, isn't
which
Barn-
is why it's
Yeah, but
I
he's
see
been
what
a
you're saying.
missionary for a long time, and he has like 3 main stories that he tells, so it's not frequent.
oh,
wait.
is it the one person who got possessed by a tiger spirit or something? That one little girl. Does he still tell that one?
I thought that was Uncle Reggie.
So this missionary used to come to our place and like stay with us, and he would tell us like stories at night about like the demons that he's casted out, which is really interesting because I was talking about this when I was in Chicago. We were just talking about like how the devil manifests in different societies and culture.
This is so lopsided.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's the work of the devil right there.
That's how he manifests.
That's
in
how he
Ohio.
manifests in Rachel's life.
This is so sad. Oh, y'all, what the?
I don't notice it
Can't
from
tell.
afar. No
Really?
one can tell. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I can't
Should I
either.
rip it off?
up to you. But I was saying that in like third world countries or in very spiritual places. Okay, so there's so many like little history tidbits that he was giving us because in the East, people are super spiritual and they believe in spirits, and villages are based off of like whatever spirits or deity that govern their land. And so what he's saying is in like villages in China, people would basically invite him to his village because Mark knew of a god that could cast out the demons that were plaguing their village. So like
Okay.
a lot of people converted to Christianity because they're like, oh, your God can cast out these demons and restore a village.
Okay.
So Mark
you're
was like,
saying-
I experienced a lot of like spiritual warfare in China that
Or
was
perform
manifested.
exorcisms?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, pretty crazy, huh?
I don't like that. Please don't
Don't
do
touch
that.
me. Rachel's the demon in our home. Damn.
That feels weirdly sexist.
Wait, what?
That's not what I.
Let's examine the gender dynamics here.
So if I point you out for anything, it's sexist.
Yes.
All right.
Mark.
Anyways, yeah. So Mark was saying that he's like, but in America, on the contrary, it's not a very spiritual culture or society. Like, there's no one really cares or thinks spiritually. Everyone's very materialistic and worldly here. There's no aspect of spirituality here, or the sense of spirituality is much weaker here. And so what he was explaining is that the devil manifests himself in different ways in the Western world. So like here in the U.S., the devil manifests itself as like greed,
As late stage
like-
capitalism.
as as late stage capitalism. So he's like, yeah, it's very uncommon that you would experience something like that. And for me, as a person from the medical career who has been taught to like basically overdiagnose and over medicalize basically everything, I was like, have you ever thought about like people who are possessed by demons to be like undergoing a period of psychosis or like some sort of mental health disorder? And he was thinking about it. He's like, that's like, it's not the same, but if you think about someone going crazy, you see
Yeah.
that happening here.
Yeah.
But he's just like, no, it's different over there. Like people who are possessed by demons, their like voices change, their like strength changes, they're like able to like fight off like a little girl can fight off like 10 men. I was like, oh, okay, like that doesn't sound like any sort of psychosis that I've heard of. But there are like, yeah. And then
Okay.
he's like, there are people who like sell their souls to the devil in China,
Yeah.
where they become a completely different person after they go through these like spiritual rituals. Like they're just completely overtaken by the devil. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. But do you have the desire to kind of
Witness that
yourself? Because that would make me reconsider my beliefs if I saw something like that.
Hold on, wait a minute. No, I already don't like horror movies. I don't need this in my life for real.
Yeah, and I think that's why horror movies had such a strong impact on us as a kid, because we're like, oh, this shit is real. Like whenever we watch a demon possession,
does not stem that far. I'm really thinking about it. I'm like, does my intellectual curiosity stem to the point where, like, if it is real, do I want to see it, or is ignorance bliss? And I'm not gonna lie, I might be teetering on the latter right now.
I think my curiosity makes me kind of want to experience something like that. But you said you were probably the closest to experiencing something like that, being in like the villages of Thailand.
I don't think
came up with all these stories.
I
need to bleep that name out.
No, I didn't experience anything like that. I think it was a very spiritual experience in general.
It's more spiritual highs though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like, I think the one thing that really impacted me there was just seeing the communities that had built, and then which was why like I decided to go into the field that I went into.
Right, you wrote about your Thailand trip in your college app. I forgot about that.
Not as my main essay, but it was as like a motivating point, because
I remember that. That was a good essay. I like that one.
Thank you. Don't make it one of those like white savior mission trip. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect that. I would learn so much from these communities. Yada yada yada. No, mine was more so of like
they already good on their own.
No, like like when we went in, they were very clear about like, and this is what I appreciate about our church, is that I think because it is an immigrant church, like we don't have that expectation that like we don't have a colonial mindset, if that makes sense. Like we're not expecting to go into these places and be like, we're going to change your lives. It's more of like we want to learn about their experiences, and we want to help out in the ways that we can with the local people that already do it there. Like we know that we're not going to be the ones who know the most about those communities and how to help them. So what we do is sponsor missionaries, which is something that I appreciate about our church that's like maybe different than how some other churches run. I guess a little ad for our church, I don't know. But I think, it was a moving experience in other ways. Not so much on the demon possession side.
Well, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever, growing up,
Stop.
I think one of my biggest problems with religion growing up was I didn't see a very strong separation between what was a spiritual experience and what was an emotional experience. Because I think I often conflated the two.
Do you think it was because you suppressed your emotions?
What do you mean by that?
Personal emotions. So when it came to spiritual things,
that was like my only way of expressing myself emotionally. Oh, interesting. I don't think so. I think my biggest struggle was when I felt the Holy Spirit. Was that just like an emotional, like, oh, this song sounds really good.
Like the beat be hidden, that G, E minor, D, C chord going
sometimes
in.
I think I've said on previous podcasts, like I've had those same experiences in a secular situation where basically I felt the same spiritual kind of experience. Oh my god, they come back immediately. Start again.
Dude, okay, that's the thing. Sorry, I'm gonna derail you for a second. I was talking to Mom about this. Philip and John.
I learned so much about derailments this summer. But continue. That was like a trigger word for me.
Philip and John are now gonna be a sophomore in high school and 8th grader.
There's a door
and
slam.
they fight every single day.
Yep.
Sorry, they're gonna learn about this on the podcast later that I'm exposing them like this. I'm sorry, but I was thinking back to that's why I was asking Mom, and Mom was like, maybe it's just been too many years, but she was like, I don't remember you guys fighting. And I'm also thinking the same thing. I'm like, I'm pretty sure once you got to high school, definitely when I got to high school, we didn't fight anymore. But
we kind of lived separate lives. Like we just
exactly.
stayed out of each other's ways, almost.
John tattles on Philip so often. I'm like, dude, help a brother out.
John's
man.
a rat.
Come on, John.
John's a snake.
Why are you snitching on him? Sorry,
yeah.
John. I exposed you. You're gonna hate me for this.
No,
later
but
in
John's
life.
also like the best of us at the same time.
No,
In some ways.
Wait, he
shows
might
the
be
most promise.
He shows the most promise, yeah.
But he do
let's
be-
let's gas John up real
Actually,
quick.
I don't know.
Wait.
Wait,
Because I'm thinking about our whole family dynamic, right?
Okay.
who do you think has the
don't
most
know.
promise in our family?
Who has like the most confluence? Because I think we all are good in different fields in that some of us have good ideas, some of us work hard, but none of us have like both
ideas
together.
and work hard.
Yeah. So I think John might be the same way. Like I don't see a lot of work hard in John either.
I think he does in his own ways. Like he'll get into a little rabbit hole of like making origami and like pursuing these little passion projects.
But he doesn't have the tenacity of like, I don't know. Like I think true working hard. I think true work like, I need to think of a better word than just saying working hard. But true like dedication and grind is like putting an effort to something that you don't like doing. That's like true discipline.
Yeah, and I think you, Andrew, do a good job at that.
Yeah, so like that's
Same
why
with
like
Dad. Yeah.
the thing with like
But Rachel's saying you don't have good ideas.
no, I don't. I'm because think about it. Like I'm the one who went to business school. I didn't start a single business or like have any like entrepreneurial bone in my body. I sold out and did consulting. Then I like went corporate to corporate.
but
but
that's what everyone does in their school.
I mean, yeah, but like I look at you who went to med school, and you're
It's like the same
constantly
thing.
trying
I
to
think
like.
when I say good ideas,
execute.
I mean like people who have some vision to change the world in some way,
I have that.
or,
I'm trying to
like,
make humans
change-
live forever.
change their communities in a certain way too. Like just like thinking a little bigger.
Yeah,
like,
so
I think Andrew has
I don't
good
do that.
ideas personally, but like the bandwidth to also like bring that outside of, you know, like I'm saying
Damn,
people are
she's saying you
No,
got
I'm
small
saying
brain.
none
That's
of
a
us-
small brain.
No, because I have zero dedication. I have zero grit and grind.
But she got big brain.
You got big brain.
I don't have big brains. I just think outside of like
No,
vision.
no, that's totally
my
fair.
bubble, you know?
Because I used to always say I can put my head down and work. Like that's fine. I can just go nose to the grindstone. Which is why I was like, screw it. Yeah, I can go into consulting or like even investment banking was what I was originally considering. Dang, what was I gonna go with this? You don't think John has that? You don't think John has grit and
I don't
grind?
think I know John.
No,
enough,
I don't
but
think he
based off
does,
of
actually.
What Mom tells me, like the
doesn't.
piano thing.
Yeah, he's a piano prodigy, but
you're
doesn't
right.
work a
You're
lick.
so right. Because like I even remember being John's age. I asked John if he was in double honors, which is where you can just skip a level of math. And John's like, no. And I was like, oh, did you like decide to take the test? And he was like, yeah, I failed miserably. I just didn't study for it. But I remember back when I was in 8th grade, I asked Dad to buy me an Algebra 2 textbook. And then I just taught myself, or no, I just think it was just algebra. For like a free summer, I just taught myself algebra. I look back
Yeah.
to that, I'm like, did I do that
I
in like
also
8th grade?
did that, but I had Dad teach me.
Oh yeah, but I just like I remember taking that textbook everywhere I went to like camping trips to like church, and I just like learned factoring in my free time, and I'm like, damn. I think honestly, even past me, I think I had more dedication than I do now sometimes. But yeah,
I had that dedication and grind for hobbies. I've been a hobbyist my entire life growing up. Dude, I have like an archive of hobbies that I've been through, and
that
like
you
I
cycle
have a
through.
graveyard of hobbies. And I think
Yeah.
I put my all into getting as good as I can at that hobby. But then once I reach a certain limit, I'm just like, this is boring. Like I'm already above average at this now. I'm gonna stop.
Like
was hit a
longboarding,
Huh?
or you don't even get there, or are you
just
like
buy the
you
thing.
bought a longboard, you got like all these custom wheels and everything. You go, I'm gonna longboard everywhere when I get to Hopkins. You didn't even take that to college.
That's true.
Stop making eating noises.
That is one that I didn't actually follow through on.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you did. I remember living with you. You had a lot of. You've had a lot of hobbies.
Yeah, I've had a lot of hobbies.
No. That's something I was gonna say you've been getting better at, because that's something that used to annoy me, that you would just give up so easily, or not give up. You would just cycle through things so quickly.
I would find a new passion project immediately after.
Yeah, you're actually seeing things through now. I'm like, good job,
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah.
I don't think you did that as much
I don't
in
think
high
so.
school.
I
Like the fact that you still enjoy golfing, I'm just like, oh wow, he actually still likes golfing, and I'm like,
come on. Hello, Dad. 可以 in like
Oh,
20 minutes. 15分钟.
I mean, we have another call, but yeah, that's fine.
Oh, we can take it at dinner.
It's gonna be real loud. We probably have to go upstairs with our dinner. That'd be fast-ish.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. No, I already know that I've enjoyed golf. I've been playing golf for 2 years now.
You're gonna stop? You're gonna cycle out of this one?
I can see myself cycling out because
Wow.
I remember feeling this for skiing. And
Oh, you're right. You don't. I forgot.
I'm not a fiend for skiing anymore.
No, you're not. Whoa, you're
But
right.
it's only because
You
I know that what I want to achieve in skiing, I'll have to put my body at risk because I already hurt myself skiing. And I was like, if I want to be really good at this, I'm gonna have to go through cycles of injury that I'm not prepared to like put myself through. Like I want to be able to do over the head tricks. I want to be able to hit rails, high rails, and I know that in order
it's
for
not
me to
worth
do
it.
that, I need a lot of resources, a lot of
Falling.
snow, and youthful limbs that I just don't have
No,
anymore.
you don't. Go
Like,
watch
I
our
hurt my
TikTok
knee
on
trying to
Jesse
hit
pulling his
rails.
hamstring. His body is
No,
fragile.
no. I'm not fragile. Trust me. I'm tenacious.
That's not what
I'm
his
Did you wear
legs
like,
say.
did you wear like knee pads?
No, those dude. You're
Those
not
look
cool if
ugly.
you're wearing
You,
knee
if you
pads.
wanted to be stage
No,
ball learning these things.
Dude, the cool kids don't even wear helmets. I'm not one of those. People,
That's
though.
bad. You should wear
that's-
your helmet.
You should definitely wear your helmets, but you know those.
Head injuries are serious.
Yeah, but with golf, there's no like the only thing in your way of like achieving like true mastery of golf is just like time.
Did you get a bad back from
And-
golf? Is that what it is?
Wait,
Or
what?
elbow? Like
You can
don't
go-
you torque your body in a way that's
Yeah,
like
you
not
can
good
you
for
can have
yourself?
lower back problems. Like Tiger had lower back problems. But there's like safe ways to play golf. Like I don't know if I necessarily play in that way, but I've got a young limber body that allows me to do a lot in golf. So my goal is to eventually compete in a tournament because like at some point the hobby does become boring if you don't have a goal to pursue.
Yeah.
So like with golf, there's always a goal of like beating your own PR. But like I want to beat other people.
Hey, that's how I feel about tennis
No.
again. So
Like I want
I feel like
competition.
I don't need that in my hobbies though. Like I bake, I sew.
you gotta get on the
I
You don't
Great
want to
British
go
Bake
to
Off.
Great British.
No, I have zero
That sounds
desire
so-
to place myself in a stressful situation.
Yeah.
Although
But
it
I
doesn't
like
seem super stressful.
competing. You don't like this aspect of
Well,
competition?
no,
I hate
miss
competition.
gratifying about baking because you can like provide.
Oh,
fulfill-
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
The
like
gratification
making
comes
food
from-
for
Yes.
other people, and I think for sewing too, it's like being able to tailor my own
exactly.
clothes, being able to tailor other people's clothes. It's just like
Yeah,
creating
I love
things.
that.
That's nice.
That you can tailor my clothes. It's the
Um,
best.
But with like climbing, like I don't do it to compete. I just do it for
Honestly, I'm
fun.
not gonna lie. I think that's why I might not climb next year if I move.
Oh,
One,
No
really?
because of-
competition.
Yeah, there's no competition.
I mean, there
There
is,
are
Oh,
but like
yeah, sorry. There
yeah.
are competitions, but I don't have any desire to
compete in that. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I think growing up, we always played competitive sports.
but I
so
do miss
Oh, maybe
competing.
that's why I don't have
you
it
never
in me.
did that.
Yeah, I never did a competitive sport, and like even
Wow.
with orchestra, it wasn't super like it wasn't like one-on-one. You're
That's-
beating
Yeah,
each
you're
other
just
out.
better
It's
than
just
everybody, so you got it.
auditioning. Oh man, yeah.
Dang. Throw
'Cause,
back to
like,
some high school tea.
My lab mate is hyper competitive, and that's because she competes at literally everything, like long games. Like whenever she has us over, she makes us play long games with her, and she just gets so intense about it, which I love because like I love that she's just like so passionate about these like small games. But she was like a very competitive swimmer, and she played on the boys water polo team in
Damn.
college.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so she competed with a bunch of
That
dudes.
sounds awful.
Yeah, but that's how competitive she was. She's like, I want to do this so I can prove to other people that I can like play with boys in a sport.
Oh,
Yeah,
good for her.
hyper competitive person. I love that. And I'm definitely not to that degree, but I definitely miss competition, which we don't really have in
I'm not gonna
adulthood.
lie. I do miss
Yeah.
competition.
And that's why I like
can
the
race.
weightlifting competitions that we used to do.
Yeah.
But
honestly,
again,
like-
injury-prone sports. So.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my lower back, I'd probably still be competing in dead or in powerlifting.
If
But it's just not
powerlifting was
worth it
just
anymore.
squatting and benching, I would do it. But deadlifting, I've hurt myself so many times. It's just
It's
not worth it
at this
anymore.
point.
Yeah.
My bench sucks. I need my deadlift to carry my numbers. So
Yeah, you ain't competing in a bench squat competition.
Oh, actually, my squat's not bad.
Well, I know,
it's
but
okay.
like your bench,
Yeah, my bench sucks so much.
your bench is ass.
My bench is so bad. I never got it.
Yes.
I mean, it's okay. That's the thing. Like, that's another thing. I'm like, I see how much work it takes to hit like the next milestone in powerlifting, which is why I've also tapered off. Like, I'm at 250 for bench. The next cool milestone is 315. That's so far away. And like, squat doesn't have a cool milestone because I'm at 360. Like 405,
Each
like
plate is another
but
milestone.
405 doesn't sound cool. 315 sounds cool.
Squatting over 400 is a pretty big achievement.
I
I would
don't
say.
know
Yeah.
why. It just doesn't sound cool in my. But like deadlifting 500, that sounds cool in my mind. I don't know why.
How
but
far are you close to 400 squat?
I'm 40 pounds away, or from my peak. Right now, I'm not 40 pounds away, but I've done a 360 squat. Got it on film back in Denver when I was like,
That's
really.
Peak
that's
fitness.
a long ways
Dude,
away.
I know, dude. Denver me was peak fitness. I looked at some
Peak.
old like fitness videos that I did. I'm just like, holy
Peak
shit.
strength. I wouldn't say peak fitness
No,
necessarily.
peak. Yeah, I wasn't doing that much cardio, so probably wasn't super fast because I don't know. When I ran my sub 5 mile was my peak like distance running cardiovascular strength.
But you
yeah,
does climbing give you any cardiovascular?
not really. I did.
I think if it's
bouldering.
just bouldering, it's
Yeah,
like
not
too
really.
short.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Do you ever get your heart rate up when you climb?
no, honestly, not really. I don't.
Yeah, it's all static, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not high intensity.
But this is
Yeah.
I think this might be my most well-rounded like physical health right now because I'm running right now and I'm weightlifting like a decent amount.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Rachel and I were talking about rock climbers in the car the other day.
Okay.
Because we noticed the people at Vital are drastically different from like the people at, where did you climb in Denver?
Oh, movement. Yeah.
Move-
Oh,
Man.
you never went there though.
Oh, you know that. And then climbers
Yes.
in Ohio are also very different
Yeah.
from the climbers in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, because
All right,
Jesse
please explain.
was asking whether or not he should get a climbing membership in Ohio.
For like social purposes.
Yeah. And because climbing in New York is very social. Like
Yeah,
everyone's
incredibly
there to be
social.
friends.
Yeah.
It's all bouldering too, so they
Yeah,
just
yeah,
sit
yeah.
around, talk a little bit, go
Yeah,
climb
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit. But it's mostly like just fun times with friends, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same vibes in Ohio
Oh,
or Denver.
word.
Or
I
like
mean, Denver,
people
definitely not. But
yeah,
I
people
don't know.
climb to climb,
climb,
you know,
yeah,
like
right,
they're
you're
not
right.
they're not there to make friends because not that many people go. Denver maybe,
Denver, a lot
but
of people go. But a lot
Ohio-
of people go as serious climbers.
yeah,
And they have
Ohio.
their friend group of serious climbers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. In Ohio, if it's a lot of people climbing, it's like because it's the little kids that are climbing in their little classes. So it's like people
I see.
who climb in Ohio take the hobby very seriously, and they're
Yep.
there to like
Better their
progress
craft.
themselves,
Yep,
right?
Exactly.
And like, not to say that people in New York are generally worse climbers, but like they just don't take it as seriously.
Yeah. I think
I could
what
s-
I said was that I
I'd
think
say
people who
collective,
climb
I
in
agree.
New York or people who climb in Vital climb for the aesthetic rather than actually caring about climbing. Because it's like the trendy thing to do right now is to
It's
climb.
a fun hobby
As
too.
a collective,
fun,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I know a couple serious climbers at Vital, but yeah, I think they kind of are more of the outliers than the general public that goes there.
Yeah, and it's not to say that
Yeah.
again, like a
Massive
lot of people.
generalizations, but
Yeah,
yes.
a lot of people at Vital are very good
I see what you're
climbers
saying.
too. Yeah, but when I got there, there was a culture shock of like, oh, people
are
are
talking to
not
me.
that good at climbing here. Because I used to the way that I would judge good climbers in Ohio was if they had good shoes,
Good
right?
gear,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and so when I got to New York, everyone had
had
the
good gear.
La Sportiva solutions, like
Yeah.
specifically that model
Yeah.
of shoe.
Yeah.
And those shoes are expensive, right? Like it's not just oh, I'll just get those. They're like they run like 200 plus, right?
Yeah.
For a pair of shoes that you're gonna like climb out in like a couple months. Anyways,
Yeah.
so
that's because you got the tech money. That's
exactly.
bouldering and tech go
And
hand in
so
hand still, yeah.
I'd see people wearing those shoes and climbing like V2s, and I'd go, whoa. This
You're
is
allowed to wear
different.
that?
Like this is, yeah, people really do just climb as a hobby here, which is great. Like I think it makes it more inviting, but it certainly is like a different environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, because I know for you were able to make a lot of friends in New York through climbing, or not a lot, but you have developed a social circle through climbing. And I was like, should I do the same thing here, or are those people I want to be friends with? But I have gone climbing a couple times with my friends, and it's a really fun activity to do. But the really nice climbing gym that's near me doesn't have a great gym, so I literally go there just for climbing.
Just to climb.
And I don't know if that's worth the money every single month. But
How much is a climbing gym at your place?
it's like 85.
Oh, yeah. What I would do to only pay 85.
Yeah, I think mine is only 60 for students. Yeah. But I will say, like, for me, my climbing community was more of like I was friends with these people first and then found out that they climbed and then we all went climbing together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see myself getting really into the hobby because there's an aspect of a challenge in this hobby. I love high learning curve hobbies because like when you achieve something, it's much more satisfying, such as golf. And climbing kind of has the same, like, as you progress, things get exponentially more difficult.
And as so exponentially more difficult.
Yeah.
And as you kind of surpass each rung, every single step that you move forward is like
a smaller
huge
and
dopamine
smaller
spurt.
Step. It was.
Oh yeah, no. You make smaller and smaller steps because it starts like plateauing how much you can improve. But and it's a very technical sport.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of technique also involves like strength and athleticism.
It's also a lot of like physics and just like body placement, which is
Huh.
But I found that I think I'm intuitively bad at those kind of sports.
oh
That's why I don't want to do climbing because I don't like doing things that I know I'm
You're
not going to
bad
be
at.
good. Whereas golf is like I'm swinging something and I've swung rackets a lot growing up. It was kind of intuitive for me
Interesting.
to adapt my swing.
what
to
about
like
lifting?
Lifting is just a personal health thing. I don't really treat it as like I'm not trying to improve myself in lifting anymore. I'm just trying to maintain at this point.
And there's also not a lot
There's
of
not a goal.
technique that's involved in lifting too.
So I did get really involved into Olympic lifting during college.
Which is a lot
I was
Oh.
obsessed with it because it was
Interesting.
super technical. And I love that aspect of it. But
Yeah, you're dragging me into it.
I got injured doing it.
Dang.
Yeah.
So hurt my shoulder snatching.
Dang.
But I hit my goal of snatching a play, and which is like not a lot at all. But when I hit the snatch one play, I was like, oh,
I'm
feel
done.
good. I'm done.
That's
That's it.
There's nothing here for me anymore.
But I didn't know that you did Olympic lifting for a
Yeah,
while.
I was
That's interesting.
obsessed with it. I would watch Cali Strength YouTube videos all the time. I still follow all the Olympic lifting accounts on Instagram, like ATG.
that
God,
one
this
dude.
person's-
Wow, dang. T.
Should we do that?
Oh, we should do that video.
Do that video of like who do you have a crush on?
Who do you
Who do you
hate?
hate? Who do you think is the most annoying?
That's funny. That's not funny.
All members of the family.
Just using members of the family.
Oh,
Jesse
damn,
every
that
time.
is toxic. Damn. What the hell, Rachel?
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Sometimes I feel like you don't even want to be here. Wait, I don't feel like that because you actually say that. So
Yeah.
No, I think I'm just tired.
All right. It is coming up on
Gasp.
the deadline. What the?
look who replied to my Instagram story. I haven't heard from her in ages.
Tisha Shay.
Tisha Shay.
Oh,
Whoa.
不知道她的中文名字是谁。
dude, Rachel, I feel like you would be such good friends with her.
Whoa.
We used to be like
Pass me the
besties, but things got in the way. But anyways,
Damn.
what a
I was just like,
Dang.
I still remember that.
yeah.
Do we want to talk about that real quick, or I'm just like?
How do we
you
talk
said-
about it hypothetically and incredibly vaguely so no one can ever figure out what we're talking about?
Well, you used to clown on me for having a lot of platonic girlfriends, and you're like, I don't get it. And then the first time you ever had like a good platonic girlfriend, and then you suddenly understand why having platonic girlfriends is
It's
Also,
awesome.
one
It's
possible, but two.
No, I didn't think it was possible. I was just like, well, the thing is, I think a lot of these girls had crushes on you, or if you had asked them out, they would definitely say yes. So I just
This is
didn't understand that aspect of that relationship.
I think girls are a lot better about like suppressing those feelings and moving on though.
That's true.
Like I feel like
yeah.
guys
You
kind of make
I don't
things a
wanna
little
call out
weird.
people.
I take that back. We're gonna cut all of this out. We're gonna cut all of this
No,
out.
I'm keeping this in. But
I
having
guess it's high school,
having
so.
a really strong platonic, because like I think this happened before we were super close. Like having a really strong platonic friendship with a girl or someone of the opposite gender helps a guy grow a lot. I think I grew a lot from this relationship because I would ask questions that I was afraid to ask girls because I was just like, I'm fearful of getting judged. I'm fearful of like, just like, oh, you should know these kind of things. But like when you become really close with a girl who's just platonically your friend, you can ask those questions and they won't judge you and they'll tease you maybe, but like they won't like be like, oh, I'm not gonna be your friend or you're weird or anything. So I asked a lot of dumb questions to this person.
Yeah, you know
And I
what's
learned
even
a lot.
crazier? I just realized I had this experience that you definitely didn't have. But back when I was in middle school, there was a youth counselor. We're gonna bleep her name, but it was right. She
Okay.
used to take me to play tennis all the time, and
Oh, I
then
didn't
she
know
would
that.
just like Andrew, like you need to know this as like
A guy.
a guy, and she would. So I almost
Yeah,
had
I
like
didn't
an
have
Do
older
I
sister.
have her to thank for your female sensitivity?
Low-key, potentially,
Really?
because
That's
she
She played that
crazy.
big of a role in your life? I don't
mean,
think so. I think naturally
I think
Andrew
at
sensed it.
developmentally
I think-
at that age, like that's
You're
important.
right. She didn't make like a. I mean, she was my like youth group or my Sunday school teacher for like 6 years.
She was. That's true. She
so it
was
was, like,
She was
every
your
Sun-
Sunday school teacher
so,
for a long
like-
time. But Esther was my Sunday school teacher for.
I don't know why she like took me under her wing as like almost a pseudo younger brother.
I do think it is really healthy for any guy to have like a female companion who you can like learn about, like in a very safe, non-judgmental space. Learn about.
I'm gonna
the
have to
other gender.
re-listen to this podcast on this section when
Why?
you edit this and see what we're keeping in. I can't expose anybody, but yeah.
Expose.
Anyways,
I'm gonna cut all that out.
I'm just
okay,
gonna
okay,
say
okay.
I don't think I've ever felt the same way about a guy friend.
No, because girls don't need that.
Yeah, I agree.
Dang. Oh, wait, hold on. So you know my close girlfriends now. You're honestly like pretty close friends with them.
Yeah.
I love all of your friends.
I know, I do too. You don't have a
I don't.
guy counterpart that is me to you.
Wait, what?
So like my like friendship with Karina, I'm roommates with her. Is there any guy right now in your college? Because I met Karina like a year
Yeah.
younger than my sophomore year, so like you're 1 year older. But Karina became like one of my closest friends during junior year. Do you have a guy friend that is the equivalent in college right now? Okay.
I'm
my
not
question.
super close with any guy friends. I do have friends that are guys, but I don't think I feel like all of
learn
my
about guys. We're just stupid and simple.
such simple.
Yeah,
No.
We really are. We're
think
very
There's a
straightforward.
lot for a
I'm-
guy to learn about a girl. There's very little for a girl to learn about a guy.
Like,
yeah,
it's
there's
very
not a lot going
rare
on.
for
Allow
me
me to
to
be straight up.
find the fulfillment that I find in female friendship from guy
dude,
friendships.
yeah.
Yeah. And so I think
I've noticed
the
that about
yeah,
you.
the male friendships that I have are like they feel very sibling like. So it's like I look for people who share qualities
I
with
see,
you
I see, I
guys
see.
that
Right.
like have that propensity to like think about how to take care of other people around them. Not necessarily me, but just like I observe like how they care for
see.
the people around
Okay.
them. And I like admire them, and that's like something that I want to learn from them, which is something that I like how I choose to be friends with people. If I can observe that they like take very good care of the people around them, I'm like, yes, they're like a friend that I want to have in my life.
Yeah, you'll never become friends with a guy to learn about that other gender's experience, but about like you'll be friends with guys
because I grew
they-
up with 4 guys. Like
That's
I feel
true,
like
you
I don't
have to
need
do
this.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already
But
have both older
I feel like I
and
was
younger
acclimated
siblings.
so well
Yeah.
into how this is
Dudes.
a man's world.
I think your guy friendships are that much more meaningful then because you're friends with them because you're like, oh, you're an interesting human being
Yeah.
on your own.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like I have nothing to gain except for like you're interesting, and I
Dang.
can learn aspects of how to be more caring.
Have
how
you
to be
seen
more-
Barbie yet?
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
it.
dang. Okay. I might take Philip and John to watch Barbie this weekend because I haven't seen it.
Wait.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Oh, dang.
yeah.
I have so
told
many
you he
free
didn't see
tickets,
it.
bro.
Oh, word? All right. I
Yeah.
probably want to take Philip and John to go watch Barbie.
In any case, it is 7:56. We need to get going.
Yeah. I
Wow,
also need
I'm
to
so
pee.
surprised by this.
Oh, okay.
Look at the last time we messaged.
Oh, that's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Sign us out, Chief.
Anyways, thank you all for tuning into this scatterbrain episode of the Rooftop
So
Pod.
scattered.
And the sun is out. We could have. Okay, so we want to do an outdoor episode, except for it was raining earlier, so we're indoors. Maybe tomorrow we'll do an outdoor episode.
That'd
So,
be nice.
yeah, thank you all for tuning into this episode of the Rooftop Pod. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I've never said this as part of the
No,
outro.
you
No, you
never said that.
haven't.
But-
Which is why the
I'm
like count is so
cringing
low. No, I'm just kidding. Please
Wait,
like-
no, honestly, maybe these calls
No.
actually work. I want to
Actually,
test that hypothesis.
It does because, or it does for me, when a YouTuber is like, please like the video. I
oh, you
honestly-
actually go and like it?
If it's a
Oh, I
person
never
that I
do.
subscribe to, yeah.
Sometimes out of
Interesting.
If it's a
spite, I
ran-
won't like it.
Oh,
because
we
they
are
asked
two
me
very
to.
different
You
people.
guys are 2
I'm
very
just-
different people. Andrew's a
just kidding.
pushover. Jesse is not.
But what I would like for people
That's
to
what
do
we're gonna
is
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say a
Andrew-
supporter.
Andrew's a good supporter. Jesse is not.
no, I like people
Why
who
am
I
I
like.
just roasting?
But I
you
would
guys
never
today?
like someone's video just because they said to like it. Like, I would only like it if the video was also
you
good.
actually liked
yeah.
it, yeah.
So I would never like just because they asked me to, kind of thing.
I mean, there's people that I watch every week, and then like I'll.
Just auto like it.
No, I only like it when they say something in their video, but I won't like it every
Oh.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, it's a good video, and I'll click away, and then like whenever they call it out, it's like, oh.
I
you're
use my
right, I am
likes
gonna like it.
very sparingly. I'm very stingy with my likes.
I use my likes as a way to bookmark videos.
But
Oh,
there's
that's
a
true.
bookmark, but
I know.
I do both. I like them both because then I can
Uh-huh.
find it in two different places. But yeah, I'm just like I give my like a lot of value. I'm just like, I'm not giving you this like unless I
You're not
really
getting
like
my stamp of approval.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, damn.
LOL.
But please give me your stamp of
Don't be like us.
no.
Be like Andrew.
I would like for everyone who has listened to enough episodes of the Rooftop Pod on Spotify to give us a 5-star. Oh, but I feel like if I ask people to do that, people might just like out of spite give me a
No.
3.
Here's a
All right,
0
we
star.
We gotta wrap this up.
Oh yeah. Anyways,
Stop rambling.
I don't know. My mind is going all over the place right now.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm your host Jesse. Signing out with me is my sister
Rachel.
and my brother
Andrew.
and we will catch you on the next episode of the Rooftop Pod. Peace.